take it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Take it away, Tom.
Sing us a little ditty.
Diamonds in the firmament, all reserves completely spent. Someone set up the oxygen tent. Everyone is real proud percent choked out. $200 take on first. Half Nelson, choose two blacks reverse. A worried look on the face of the ringside nurse. One for once with the universe choked out. Choked out.
Are you saying choked out?
Choked out.
The sound's not great. I can't quite make out what he's saying, nor hear the guitar.
I think the sound is not as great as we thought. Are you saying choked out? Did you say full Nelson? Is that a wrestling song?
It is the wrestling song, yes.
I really like that. I really like that about the Mountain Goats. Let me say this about the Mountain Goats. I like them, but they don't have enough real fucking rockers. And I'm a guy who likes to rock. You know what I mean?
I just realized that we should call the podcast "Let Me Say This."
Let me say this.
Because that's John's catchphrase.
I do want to say this. What are you doing right now, Chris? It looked like you were about to do a politically tinged YouTube video based on that background.
No, I was making a pour over coffee. Don't worry about it.
Oh, fuck yourself. And let me say this about pour over coffee.
There it is.
What a complicated way to just make coffee. Hey,
I like it. It's meditative.
Oh, fuck yourself. Coffee doesn't need, not everything's supposed to be meditative.
Not everything is, but coffee can be. It's a nice way to start the day. You just patiently wait as you pour slowly over the grinds, and maybe you tickle your balls just a little, just because it's like meditation can be fun for everyone.
I want there to be a fire hose when I wake up filled with coffee, and I want that sprayed into my mouth. I don't want, I literally just I don't want any waiting from awake to caffeination. I want to be woken up, and I want an aide to hand me a cup like this. So this is me sleeping, and go like that.
Full Wakanda.
I the stream with all my
Verse 2.
Slipped off into the velvety arms of the night. I kick and claw, scratch and bite. Fire up the grill, we'll all eat tonight. Choked out. No breakdown.
Whoa, did anyone else see
endless dark incline?
Tom's fuck me eyes there a second ago?
Won't ever cross this line.
Tom's fuck me eyes, did you see them?
They want to die dead broke.
I did.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yes. Tom,
everybody's got their limits.
Have you ever had someone slide into your DMs because of Thom Tuck Sings the Mountain Goats?
Ooh.
Not in that way.
Whoa, what does that mean?
People, I got someone backstage at the Mountain Goats because they slid my DMs because they've been watching.
Wait a minute. You had sex backstage at the Mountain Goats with someone that had watched you do Thom Tuck Sings the Mountain Goats? Is that possible? That's like the snake that ate itself.
Yeah. Let's say yes. Crowd baying like dogs at the kingdom.
Right back into the song.
All colors of the rainbow flood my face. I drift off into space. I can see it. It's a real dark place.
I feel like this is all part of the song, including Chris leaving. It's like John Cage's 531. The ambience is part of it.
Choked out.
Where did Chris go? Chris, are you dead?
Oh, I just realized I was wearing the same shirt as Sunday, and that's just a window into my laundry situation. So,
I changed my hat.
I did a full costume change, guys. Come on.
Did you change your pants?
No.
British meaning. All right. Did you fuck someone backstage at the Mountain Goats? Answer that question. That's amazing.
No. But someone who had been watching Thom Tuck Sings the Mountain Goats, I then asked on Facebook, I need someone to come backstage at the Mountain Goats for me to play Magic the Gathering. And someone was like, yes.
That's what a lovely moment for Thom Tuck. That's got to be a top 5 day for you.
What are you fucking talking about playing Magic the Gathering, though? What are you fucking on about, man? What do you mean?
It's pretty simple, John. I'm not sure what part of this you aren't understanding.
Why is he doing that with the mountain goats? What happened to rock and roll? They were playing,
John,
poker for guns, and now it's Magic the Gathering with someone who lives in North London.
After Colt sort of, May got John to do that video.
Oh, of course. Your face was the greatest face of all the faces. Yeah, I thought it literally looked like you were going to shit diamonds of hope. You were so happy. It was glorious.
But then he started following me on Twitter. So then he then changed his Twitter bio to read Orzhov Cleric, which is a very specific Magic the Gathering reference.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, let's get in, because two of my greatest passions have just come. And so when they were playing Shepherd's Bush Empire, which 2 years ago, I DM'd him, like, do you fancy playing Magic before your show at Shepherd's Bush Empire? He's like, yes, I fucking do. And at the time, Tom Horton was still living at the Tower of London.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And we'd been round to the Tower of London, me and a few other people, to play Magic. I was like, well, if I can sort this out for John, I think he'll be delighted. Because we got to, like, Tom Horton was like, hey, do you want to see the room where Guy Fawkes is interrogated? We were like, yeah.
I wrote jokes in there. He didn't tell us till after we were done writing.
But we didn't work out that we could go to the Tower of London because of Tom needs of sound checks and whatever. So he's like, I'll just come backstage. We'll just play Magic backstage. So
I'm going to say this right now. Both you and Tom Houghton have had too much sex to be able to play Magic the Gathering. I'm going to say that right now.
It's a new day, John. It's a new day. You're thinking in terms of 1990s bullies.
I know.
The 2020s now.
I know.
I had a bit in my show in 2017, I think it was, where I'll go, hey, I started to talk about Magic the Gathering, and then it's like, hey, are there any nerds in? And people go, woo! It's like, no, that's not what nerds say. We sit in the corner with our folders.
Yeah.
I agree.
These facts. These are straight facts. That was a weird time when everyone pretended to be nerds. And now, I was saying this the other day on the show, but Tom, you weren't here. Now nerds are pretending to be jocks. I've been working at a bar and a bank for the last few months, and we had a bunch of like tech CEOs in, and they were all jocks, but they clearly weren't jocks. They were born nerds who became jocks in the Silicon Valley. Anyone that thinks that Silicon Valley is woke needs to get their shit together, because those dudes punch each other in the dick for fun. That's a guarantee.
Let me say this. So I'm doing another podcast with Dylan God, John and Dylan online. Please check it out.
Yeah.
And so we did At Midnight. And basically what you realize in the 2010s, everyone went from being a nerd with glasses wearing a hoodie going, actually, I do like Iron Man, to being in a sleeveless shirt with a bunch of really intense muscles, being like, actually, I do eat elk tongue. And it's the same guy who was like, I'm really into Star Wars. And now they've just become the closest thing to a Sith Lord. Like, it's so fucking insane. We're currently doing the Facebook's pivot to video. Facebook is the most evil company, like, is laughably evil in every way possible. And he is the great alpha nerd of our time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like Star Wars and also knowing how to manipulate people via their actual data, so it's like they're speaking to themselves mirrored back over.
Yeah, it's a generation of Kylo Rens, man.
That's exactly what it is, and I fucking hated those movies. Go ahead, Tom.
Why can't Zuckerberg use his face properly?
I completely agree. Oh,
fuck me. And this is going to be really exciting.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do with his fucking eyelids. It's really weird.
He's a terrifying man. I really want to know what it's like when it's just him and his wife.
Oh,
like,
you do.
I mean, I'm not. I don't want to. I don't know.
You do know he's obsessed with.
But like, what? Like
the Roman Empire, right? You know, like his haircut is to look like a Caesar, right? You know about that?
Oh, that makes sense. That makes so much sense.
Right there, where you're just like, what the fuck is it? Here's what I guarantee. This is his wife, Mark. Yes, That's their entire life.
Is he just is he trying to just be a human bust? Is that why he doesn't make any facial
he sucks.
changes? He's like, I am already marble.
Yes, I am. I'm Michelangelo's mark.
Is that why Meta doesn't the metaverse doesn't have any legs? Because the statue's got broken off. I mean, there's a real joke in there, but you know,
And we fucking found it, Tom. What are you fucking talking about, buddy? Come on now. I'm gonna say this. Mark Zuckerberg has a giant house in the Mission in San Francisco, and it is the most like right before the French Revolution thing ever, because it's literally a house surrounded by the poor and dejected, and he has a fortress of technology in the middle of abject, terrifying poverty. And it's like, when the revolution comes,
is that because he could buy the land and like knock it down?
It's because the Mission is like gorgeous San Francisco. San Francisco is like such this like gorgeous, beautiful, gilded age. Is that the right like era old city? Like all the it's not that year. It's a little later, but like all the architecture matches. But like some of the areas are fucking terrifying. So people just buy an entire row of houses and then turn like 8 duplexes into one house.
Oh my god! Like I like one of my like. You know, when you have those little sort of daydreams, like, well, if I had lots of money, you know what I'd do? I would definitely buy multiple of Old Town Edinburgh tenements that are next to each other.
I see what you're saying.
If you could get the whole ring, so the garden in the middle was all yours. Have a little football pit.
This is just bothering me. Chris, what is the architectural style of San Francisco? I know you know it. What's the era?
I don't know. I haven't like looked at, but it's post Gold Rush, so it's pretty new.
Yeah. Either way,
that's still 30s or something, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, older than that, like early 1900s, like
yeah.
But like pretty fucking new. So I don't think there's a name for the age. There'll be an architectural style, but I haven't looked at San Francisco in years.
Here's what I would say.
The architecture of San Francisco is not so much known for a defining particular architectural style. Rather, it's interesting and challenging variations in geography and topology.
Ooh, yeah, they love those hills. They got a lot of hills.
They do. And you
want to know an eclectic mix of Victorian and modern architecture.
So that would make sense. So all the old areas are all beautiful old Victorian architecture. So these rich fucks take them, put a bunch of iPads in the walls, and then a bunch of poor people live outside them. That said, San Francisco. I've said it before, I'll say it again.
One time I did go to San Francisco. Like I think there's some Art Deco stuff there as well.
Yeah. Oh, there must be. Yeah,
it's California. Like, of course, this is the one thing that annoys the shit.
There'll be some Adobe.
Certainly, Chris. With those lovely tile roof slats
and some Photoshop or something.
Hey.
Also, by the way, last summer I watched a guy tile a whole roof with those clay slats by himself in an hour. It was the most insane thing I've ever. Like he literally just like pulled up in a truck, cracked his neck, unfurled his long hair, and got up there and just. I still quite look at that roof and go, I don't know if that was a good job, but it was a job.
I put shingles on top of a roof once, and I know they have leaks.
Yeah. What are you doing? If someone shows up with a teenager and they're a contractor, go home. No. I want someone that needs this job, not someone that's like dad is trying to get them to learn responsibility.
Oh, I needed it. My parents weren't paying for anything. I couldn't play baseball that year because they refused to pay the $70 like registration fee. So I coached instead.
You coached? Oh God.
I coached my own team. The team that was my team the year before I was their coach. They did not respect me.
We talked about this at the baseball diamond in Frenzy Park, didn't we?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Richard Wright guessed the diamond. He DM'd me and he was like, is it this one? I was like, whoa, ding, ding, ding. You did it, buddy. Good job.
Yep. No, it was 100%. He did that to me too. I was like, it's great.
Have you heard that Pegasus has been renamed?
No.
What? Blasphemy. What's it called now?
Genesis.
Oh, I actually like that. I like that more. It's in the word tree, but also it's new
The
acts,
idea being
it's
that
new jokes.
you'll
You're
see
creating.
things created here. Yes.
I
Yeah.
like that. That's good. That's real good. Although technically Pegasus worked with that as well, but it was just a bit more of a niche reference. You would have had to read a comic book telling the story of Pegasus. When you
Or
wanted
like
that.
an old Greek
Or a
tome,
book.
or an
No.
encyclopedia, or a
Encyclopedia.
YouTube video.
What is this? The 40s? A
I've
YouTube
never
video.
read a YouTube video in my life, and I won't
Thank you.
start now. Thank you, Mr. Betts.
Yeah. Yeah. T Tuck F Park.
What?
What is his address for that letter he was sending you?
Finsbury Park.
Yeah. T Tuck F Park.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know the famous. You must know that. Well, maybe you don't. The just Finsbury Park backwards is crappy rub sniff.
Oh, of course
my
I knew
God,
that. Who doesn't?
I did not know that, and I love it so much. I love that so much. Say it again. What is it backwards?
Crappy rub sniff. Whoever noticed that first. Thank you then, because
that's really
you
good.
could just always have that little joy.
I mean, Finsbury Park in general, it is one of it is the best neighborhood in London, and everyone else eats butts. It rules.
I mean, it's not a neighborhood, but because you've got basically 4 neighborhoods around the park.
That's but like I mean that region. If you're park adjacent, fuck yeah, you've got the excellent park. You've got Green Lanes for excellent Turkish food and heroin. You've got Seven Sisters Road for your wigs and coffee needs, and that Nando's that is pretty. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. And booze right next to the park on 3 of 4 sides.
Of course, and also you can walk 1 block down to the off license with that conveyor belt. And that place is open all night. And let me tell you, I have never been in there close to sober. I've been in there drunk. Oh, have I been in there drunk?
Yeah.
There's also there's a garage that's 24 hours that will still sell you booze after hours illegally.
Nice.
Oh, come on, but you got to go to the conveyor belt off license. I don't know what they're doing in there, but I just know if I opened one of those doors back, like it would just be someone feeding a gorilla. Close the door. Okay.
Toronto's about to allow drinking in parks provisionally.
About? Well, yeah. I didn't realize I was breaking the law.
I think you mean a boot.
Yeah. August, and I looked it up because it was no one could tell if it had passed or not, but the city has finally given in to public pressure, quote. And they're doing it, but they're doing it at the end of the summer. It's August 5th to October 5th.
Hilarious.
It's a 2-month thing, and they're like, yeah, you can drink when it's wet, dicks.
First of all, the amount of drinking I used to do in parks was great. The amount of sex that happens in Toronto parks in the summer is insane.
Ooh, I might have to dabble in that.
I had sex in Christie Pitts with 2 different people on the same weekend, and like it wasn't like I said to one of them, "Oh, I had sex in Christie Pitts." It was like both like, "Well, it is July."
Where in Christie Pitts? There are very few. It's not like Finsbury Park where there's like little weird bush places where you can go cruising.
There was like a treed area in one corner, and it was very late at night.
Yeah,
Sorry,
they have a.
I zoned out a little bit. All I heard was crusty pits and bush places.
Christie Pitts, and you are correct. It is one of the worst names for a park ever, and it is just basically a big hole that's grass in the middle of the city, and they're like, "That's a park now."
No, Christie Pitts is great now. There's a great basketball court. There's a little skate park. There's 2 baseball diamonds. There's a pool. There's places to come. What more do you want?
The pool was there. The rest of that stuff was not there when I lived in Toronto 12 years ago. But that park was fucked because during the garbage strike when I moved there in 2009, they piled all the garbage in Christie Pitts, which of course meant that part of the city smelled like a fucking foot. But it also meant that the park just had like the craziest rats for years. Like you just a Labrador? No, that was a mouse. Okay. Well, we live in hell. Have you ever been to Toronto, Tom? I think you would really. I love Toronto.
The only place I've been in Canada is British Columbia.
So good call. Nailed it.
We had friends from abroad who then moved back there. Just outside of Vancouver. I think I probably told you this. Chilliwack.
Yeah, Chilliwack. Yeah, what a hole.
Yeah, shit, babe.
I mean, we were just at their house, and then we went into Vancouver or to the Flintstones park.
Yes. Now it's called Dusty's Dino Town. Thank you very much.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
Same rides, just different outfits.
Here's the question: it was discovered that they were the Flintstones park, and they very much did not own the rights to do that. So there was like, you need to come up with your own characters now. That's what I assume it was.
Oh, guaranteed. There's no way they called Hanna-Barbera and we're like, may we? They just did it, and they're like, we're in Chilliwack. Who's checking?
There was a park. There was a bunch of clay dinosaur statues near Ottawa called the Dinosaur Park. The movie Jurassic Park came out. They changed their name too. Guess what? Jurassic Park, like right away.
I was going to guess Triassic. I don't know why.
Cretaceous Park.
And they changed it. They've never changed it. And I think they've gotten cease and desist. And I think they're just kind of like, bring it on, bitch.
You're going to sue a park?
Yeah. There's 4 of us and we're drunk. You want to repossess these clay dinosaur statues kids play on? Come and get it.
Well, the thing was with the Flintstones park, or whatever the fuck it's called now. It's all concrete. It's real hard. None of it is conducive to kids having a safe time.
Mm-mm.
And this is like, oh, here's a brontosaurus, and like what do you do? Oh, we try and climb it, but it's really hard because it's really tall. If you fall, you're gonna hit your face on its ass as you fall down. It was amazing. I love things that are dangerous. I went on the International Schools Theatrical Association.
Oh, come on. Sure you were.
In Bangkok, in 1990, must have been 4 or 5. And we had a little sort of trip to a local theme park, and I can't remember what it was called. I wish it had, but they had one of those, the
pirate ship that goes half just swings back and forth, but goes just high enough that you think you're gonna die, and then it swings back down.
I love it.
But what happened? We got on, and you pull the thing down, and it didn't move.
What?
And then the button, he hit the button and it started like, no. And it was like, it was the most exhilarating thing in the world. And we went on again and again and again and sat in exactly the same seats. I'm like, why go on a ride if you don't think you'd die?
Well, here's why.
That's the only reason I go on. If at the moment I think I might die, I no longer go on the ride.
I disagree, and that's because I grew up in a place called Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, where we had something called the Exhibition. And at the Exhibition, when I was 10 or 11, they had something called the reverse slingshot, and it was essentially it was the craziest thing ever. It was essentially an on-land bungee jump, but instead of going up, down, you went like left to right, and it launched you, and you were supposed to like stay in a chair. But they did not secure it properly, so the second guy ever who did it launched in the air like a actual cannon and died. And did they shut down the X? They did not. They literally just left the ride there, and then everyone was just kind of like, watch out. And since then I'm like, no, I want safety regulations. I will never forget that, because I remember we walked in and I was like, oh, didn't someone die this year? And then my friend Joel Kennedy pointed to this like X'd off area with a bunch of like caution tape around a fence and just went, yeah, it was that ride right there. I was like, holy shit.
We have in BC, we got a Playland, or the PNE, which is the Pacific National Exhibition.
Of course.
And there were 2 roller coasters there. One was just wood. It's just a wooden roller coaster that had been around for, and even as a child, I was like, that's wood. I'm not getting on that. And then I went on one that was metal called the Mousetrap.
Yes,
and the whole point of the Mousetrap is it's like a tiny little mouse-shaped car, and it does hard corners. Bang, you turn. And about a month after I went, I almost fell out. One of the corners, it was so hard that the G-force just almost pulled me out. And about a month afterwards, 2 people just got thrown out of the car, just full died about 2.5 stories, 3 stories up. And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. That's exactly right. Still a ride, still absolutely a ride.
Absolutely.
100% still going.
I wanted to know the mousetrap was the same, that was the ride that was also used for our stupid exhibition. It was the same thing, I think. Did it like tour or was it always there?
It was always there. But
okay,
there's more than one. I've seen like a similar ride in different places.
Yeah, it was definitely, I think, called the Mousetrap. I remember when the X got a roller coaster, it was literally like, guys, we've made it. Holy shit.
That's why, like, I'll go on, if I go to Disneyland or Universal Studios or something like that, no problem. All the rides, let's go. Because I know that they have too much reputation on the line for me to die here. And yes, people die at Disneyland and then they cart their carcasses off premises so that technically they didn't die in Disneyland. But okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, but people die on buses and I still get on those.
Exactly. It's not because the fucking roller coaster flew off. You know? They were, I've told the story before, but like the quick version of it, my brother needed to piss. He was dancing around. We were on Splash Mountain. The ride was stopped for whatever reason. And about 5 minutes in, a little person just emerged out of the fucking ride and was like, "Are you okay?" And my brother said, "I really need to pee." And so my mom was like, "I can take you to the washroom." So my mom just sent my little brother, he was like maybe 8, 9 at the time, off with this stranger employee to pee. And then he met us at the end of the ride. But it's like, they are watching, they're on top of it, they're doing things. And so it's like, okay, I'll ride whatever the fuck this is.
There's so many YouTube videos of this, but literally, I know you can, I don't know about Disneyland, but I know Disney World, if you like take a piece of paper and crumple it up and just drop it, literally out of nowhere, someone literally just appears and like, "Thank you," and gone. Like, it's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, they don't fuck around, man. Listen, Disney literally did the metrics on trans rights and was like, "Oh, you know what? No, it's good for the bottom line. Ron DeSantis going to fuck himself." Like, do you understand how, like, Disney is
it wasn't trans rights.
That was gay. That was the Don't Say Gay bill.
Pardon me. Thank you.
And you know, I think we do need to stand up at any possible point we can.
Oh, absolutely.
I completely agree. It's the idea that Disney,
the anti-trans lobby is a fucking
nightmare.
Can I just say, the UK with it, the UK, it's crazy how deep rooted, like how much it's a deep rooted society in the way that, this is going to sound crazy. In America, the culture war is still very much on people's phones. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I did a cruise and they were literally the Gun Owners Association of America, which I Googled. Their slogan isn't this, but they're known as the NRA for crazy people. What the fuck? And Aquafest, Bear Edition. So literally right-wing fascist gun fucks and like big, burly, bearded gay gentlemen literally just had a great time talking about beard oil at the buffet on the cruise. Never a problem whatsoever. They would just ignore each other's very provocative t-shirts. It's just America. It's just this weird thing that's in their heads where it's like, if it's in front of them, it can't be evil. I don't fucking know. What? So the culture war all exists online and then it leaps. In Britain, it is like on the streets, you just hear people talking about, like, we got to do something about these trans people. They're lurking. It's so weird. What the fuck happened to England? You guys have, it's like, you guys became the England that lived in my head.
Well, there's, I think, there has been a concerted push of money to try and like stoke it. But what's happened is that, I'm going to try and phrase this well.
Someone had Buckfest. Let's see how this goes. I forgot about the Buckfest, Chris. This is going to get interesting.
Oh yeah, I've had 2 large Buckfests.
Let's talk politics.
Now I'm on a whiskey.
Oh no, Tom! You are really going to bore someone in about 2 hours with your opinion. No,
not now though.
No, my girlfriend's on a cruise.
Oh, yep, you did this right. You did this right. You were going to really do some thinking. I've been in that situation. You know, when you're just messed up and you're like, Wrath of Khan isn't as good as Search for Spock. Fuck yeah.
I do agree with that.
I mean, you're wrong, but that's fine. We don't have time. I want to hear your point about Britain.
Fucking love such a book. The way the feminist movement has grown and evolved in this country has very much been like if you'll allow the term, Hegelian.
I will not allow that term, Chris. What is the term?
Hegelian?
Hegelian.
Can you elaborate on that? Because I mean I know the play, but I'm curious as to how you mean.
No. The philosopher Hegel.
Oh, Hegelian.
Yourself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
I do
in
not
like
you.
The thesis antithesis way.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you talk about first wave feminism. John, you were saying fourth wave feminism,
of course.
But that's how the argument has gone on, and then there are a group of feminists in this country who have not moved on with the dialectic, who just have gone mad about trans women. And won't listen to them or trans men were saying about what you say about them is going to affect me. And so you ask any trans people, what they say is, I'd just like to be left alone, thank you. I'm not going to do anything. And and then the assault. And who does that? Well, generally it's cis men.
Yeah.
Generally it's us three.
Yeah, statistically, yeah.
What?
Well, not us specifically, but yeah, I know.
What kind of podcast?
Do you think this is a thought that I had? Because like every void needs to be filled, right? And historically, like all groups, feminism was largely white in terms of the groups that got power, and there's been a push towards intersexual feminism for the last few years. And this is a topic that I'm not. Don't take anything I say seriously. Just read people that are smarter than me about it.
That's right.
So they're starting to actively try to encourage, women of color and things like that in. And so the fact that they've lost the ability to discriminate against them, do you think that they just, instead of dealing with that energy, part of it is they just moved it on to trans women because there's got to be a group of women that matters less than me?
Well, no.
And I mean that in a human sense, not in a feminine sense. It's something that happens.
I think there is 100% a lack of understanding intersectionality with British white feminists.
Yeah.
Some British white feminists, not all, obviously.
Of course,
because there are gay black people and white trans people, sort of, understand and nod to each other, and gay Muslims and but straight white wasp white women.
I'm listening.
Seem to be the source of the transphobia.
Yeah, middle class too, largely.
I think you're overthinking
which is weird.
It will pass. It will pass.
I think you're both overthinking it. Here's what I think it is. The world is incredibly divided, and social media drove people fucking crazy with their insane algorithms, and far-right Christian groups could not persecute gay people in the same way that they wanted to, and to backdoor to keep that argument going, they opened up all these debates about trans people and then flooded the zone with all this weird, crazy shit that was then adopted by weird corners of the internet that were not used to being manipulated by trolls, i.e. Mumsnet. And now it's just in the water, and people just believe it's to be true because people just want to be part of their side. In a post-COVID world, people are already feeling isolated. They found a new community. That's what I think it is more than anything else.
It was definitely pre-COVID. But I think you're right.
But in COVID,
the money has come in from Christian groups.
Yes.
Like, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? And
well, also, it's not like, don't forget that, big recession's been on the horizon for years now, and gradually eroding everything through inflation and whatnot. And whenever that happens, weirdly, there's some marginalized group that's out to fuck our kids. Isn't that strange? There's a whole other thing that takes up our rage that should be pointed in other directions. But all of a sudden, here's this group that weird dark money that's flowing in from sources that we don't know, but we probably know where it's coming from, is actively pushing to marginalize these people because we got to be mad at something, and it better not be the people that are making us poorer.
This is a bit I'm trying to get to work, and I think in listening to what you just said, I think I cracked it, which is I like how hopeful the human race is, in that anytime we have an economic disaster, we look at it and go, wait a minute, someone fucked off with all of our money? Well, there's no way it's those rich people with all that money. It's got to be this poor person who's crying got all the money because he's guilty. You know, like it's the crazy, like how
is that optimism?
I think that's human optimism right there. What the fuck?
I don't know that.
Turn on living room light.
What was that?
What's going on?
Sorry. Alexa turned off the living room light.
Tom, is Jeff Bezos trying to attack you?
I think so. Oh, no shit.
I also just think the UK, I mean England, but the UK is fucked right now. So everyone is just looking for someone to blame that isn't the Tories. And I'm just going to say this, and I don't want to come across like an extreme person, and I don't advocate violence, but I think we're getting dangerously close to it's time to kick the doors of 10 Downing Street down and murder some people on television. I'm not saying we should do that yet, but I'm saying we're getting pretty close to that zone.
I don't think that
unarmed uprising
executions are exactly what we need. It would be fun. I'm sure.
Okay, yeah. Just, I actually agree that it's probably not exactly.
I've got a short list.
Oh, of course. Listen, it doesn't even.
Okay, British politicians go. John, 1.
Liz Truss, just for fun. I want Liz. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Hang on. I want
no. You've said it now. You said it now.
And Rishi Sunak to hunt each other through central London.
No. You've already got one. You've said Liz Truss. Okay, over to Ben.
I mean, you got to go with the guy who mainstreamed all this. I got to go Boris. I mean, pretty Patel's up there. Shout. David Cameron's up there, but it's got to be, he's the one who really brought it in, and so you got to go Boris.
Can I just say this about Boris?
And I'm going Gove.
Gove is very good. Gove is another one. Here's my list. Cameron, I actually put above Boris because you want to do Boris at the end. You know what I mean? You want because everyone's going to have fun with that one. Everyone, like as soon as he comes out, everyone's going to be like, "Oh, that's right." It's like seeing Kiss. And when
you know what? If we're beheading him, can we tie his hands behind his back?
Yeah.
And then, for once, comb his fucking hair.
Yes, we can.
He's got such a big head, the thud it would make as it fell. So loud. So loud. It would be a ringtone.
You'd have to get a bigger basket.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've told this story on the stream before, and I don't know if I did this, but I think I did.
I like how you still refer to it as a stream, even though it isn't.
It's in my head. It's still the stream. I was biking to Paddington Station to go to Oxford to either do a gig or sleep with a lady. Anyway, thank you. And
but you could have gone from Marlborough if you wanted.
No, what are you talking about? You always go from Paddington on the fun Oxford Express. You're out of your mind. Anyway, it's difficult to find a bike spot on the bike racks in Paddington. That's a known thing. And a posh, disheveled man. By the way, I can't remember, but I think I stopped to piss on the bike path on the way to Paddington. But then a disheveled man said, "Would you like my spot?" And he unhooked his bike, and then I looked this guy in his face and went, "Are you Boris Johnson?" And he went, "I am. Yes, I am Boris Johnson." And then he stuck his hand out, and in like the weirdest way, where I just found myself shaking his hand, and he walked away, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And
they were always nice to John.
And then I thought, I think Boris Johnson touched piss. And then I went to Oxford. Yeah. And by the way,
Boris Johnson has definitely pissed on loads of things.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Did you see that he hasn't released, was it like 16 months of WhatsApp messages or something recently?
No, he has released.
He has.
Oh, I thought, because the last thing I read was that he was still refusing to do it.
No.
No,
They
no, no,
ordered him
no,
to,
no.
but he wouldn't
He has
do it.
now deliberately released them to try and fuck up the Cabinet Office, and the Cabinet Office have taken the court to court.
Yeah.
The UK is.
Chris, to paraphrase Lenny Bruce, the UK is so corrupt at this point, it's thrilling. Like, it's like, you're just like, wait a minute. Like, you literally, like, the Speaker of the House of Commons, like, twice this week had to literally be like, you actually literally cannot interrupt me. I don't know if you know what this is.
Someone out.
Yeah, he kicked someone out. You can't, like, it's, where is
that
fucking,
happens so rarely.
Where is the fucking order guy from Brexit? We need we need John Bearcow back. God damn it. We just need a snob from Hampstead who hates everybody. Oh, God bless that man. Terrible ties. Such good hair, though. That's what I'm gonna say. John Bearcow. Wait, that's a fucking politician haircut right there. Just kind of deliberately, kind of interestingly messy. Oh, wonderful. Here's, by the way, when I get messaged all the evil shit John Bearcow did. Like, it's like, oh, by the way, the starvation in Beirut. He jacked off on their corpses. For fuck. Like, every British politician you start backing, you're like, oh, just to let you know, he actually shit in a kid's mouth, and that's how he won the election. You're like, oh.
No, Burkhough's just mildly corrupt.
Oh no, but in England, how mildly? Because again, that's like
mildly in that his wife did the thing and covered up and blah, 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 blah. It's nothing.
It's just a wife, whatever. What is this, Scottish politics?
No,
it's only a couple $100,000.
Well, that's going to be interesting. Where's Ashley, by the way?
She is working.
She's involved in that scandal.
Yeah, she's currently shitting in a child's mouth.
Yeah,
she's running for office. Yeah,
she was the bag person.
Yeah, we're gonna have to delete all the past streams so that it doesn't affect her political career.
Yeah,
but is that not destroying evidence?
I mean, not unless they're already looking for it,
or if we get caught. It's all. Remember, Chris, Tom, you have to remember this. It's only a crime if someone finds out about it.
Yeah, which is what I love to say to all my pickpocketing victims.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you, I was really.
And then they found out about it, which is
because you told them. Because you told them.
Yeah,
that's the big mistake.
I shouldn't have told them, but I love the phrase.
Chris, I've been. Chris, when we saw that guy got headbutted in Camden Tube Station?
Yeah.
What did he say? Did he say "Don't headbutt me again"? I've been talking
about
this.
He said "Do not." He didn't join the words. He said,
wait a minute. He said "Do not."
Headbutt me again. Yeah.
I'm really glad I asked. That may be the key to making that funny. The idea that he didn't even go "Don't."
Mm-hmm.
Do not. I need all these words. Headbutt me again.
Yeah. But no, like a city guy, like a nice two dudes in suits.
Oh, right. Sir, it was 2012. They were on good coke. Yeah, that's much closer to what it was. Oh my god! And then off to fucking.
Can I play him in the movie?
He really meant it. He really meant it. He took the first one. He said, "Fair enough," but not again.
Oh, that's the key. That's the key, because that's the swivel.
It's also another thing, I've thought about this before.
But do not headbutt me again.
Yeah.
Who also takes a headbutt and thinks, who's going to respect words? The guy who headbutts. Like, what do you do? Like that.
Well, I don't know. Like, there are some people who headbutt who, if you try and reason with after that, are going to headbutt again. But I think there are a significant proportion within the population of people who headbutt, who, after they've headbutted, have got it out their system.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Headbutt me once. Shame on you.
Headbutt me twice. I must really fuck you off.
You're not. You don't headbutt me again.
I'm also I'm going to say this. If you are expecting a second headbutt, you did something.
Or you know this guy really well. You're like, two headbutt Harry.
But even still, to head like who have we all headbutted someone here? I have. And the thing with it they don't tell you about the headbutt is it's a real two-way street. Like in the movies it's depicted like it feels like a kiss from the deliverer and a punch from the receiver, as opposed to what it actually is.
But you've got to aim.
Yeah, it didn't hurt me at all. I got him right. I felt fine.
Oh yeah, no, I fucking whacked.
You hit a nose slightly on an angle. All good.
With like up here, right where my hair should be.
All this strong bone.
I hit about here, and
that's hard. You're an idiot. No. You want to hit cartilage. You don't want to hit bone.
I was like 13. Like, what do you fucking want from me? Like,
I mean, if you get a headbutt side there, might kill a man. But
don't do that.
You're not going to hurt yourself.
I remember telling that to my friend Andrew, who was going to go fight another guy from Notre Dame, the Catholic school down the street. And then I told him that, and then I remember watching him then continually trying to punch that guy in the temple. And I was like, oh, he misunderstood what I was saying to him. That's the problem here. He thought that was advice. Oh, good idea.
I was just going to fight him, but you're right. I should kill him.
It's important to have scumbag friends. I was thinking about this. It's very important to have scumbag friends because
I agree with that.
Yeah, I was able to literally. I identified. I was about to pull in for gas, and I just like looked at two guys walking towards the pumps, and I was like, these guys definitely have mugger energy. And I just waited for a second, and then just a police car siren, like whoop, 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 just driving right up. So I was like, yeah, they've done something. Listen, this is Los Angeles. I do not respect the police here at all. I definitely think they're in the wrong always. But in that situation, I went, yeah, good call, boys.
LAPD and the London Metropolitan Police have proved themselves again and again over years and years and decades to be corrupt, racist, violent, misogynistic organizations. But is there a policeman here where our naughty man is?
Yeah,
I also want to be protected.
Oh, yeah. And may I say this? All of the movies that feature the LAPD, I will watch them. That said, like they're just such dingleberries. But I completely agree. Where you're just like, also, can I just say this?
Most police, in actual fact, are douchebags just as much as you and I are.
Way more. Here's something I've never thought.
I don't know. My best friend from school is a policeman.
So was
in the Met, and he's a douchebag. Not more than me, but
different way.
Different way. Speaking of douchebags, we haven't started the show.
Oh my God, we haven't started the show. But before we start the show, I just want to say this: the London Met has nothing on the LAPD. Like the LAPD.
Oh no. I just think
you're correct. Like
the Met has been. It's so.
Oh yeah.
Again and again and again. Let's all remember Jean-Charles Meneses. That they just killed the guy.
Yeah.
They just killed the guy.
Sir, you're speaking about the LAPD. If you think we're just going based off they killed a guy, that's like every day.
They murder gangs.
If we've not started yet, can I have a pee first?
There's a gang in the LAPD where to join it, you got to kill a guy.
Sir.
And they're cops.
Excuse me. That gang no longer exists because the leader of the gang just lied about like 80 cops being corrupt, and then they only put him a year in prison, and then he became a security guard for Harvey Weinstein. So
how about you, so it's fine.
How about you get your information correct?
Tom just walks out.
Yeah, he's beating. All right, we're gonna start the show. We'll start the show. Tom will come back and we'll end the show.
Yeah.
No, the Canadians are coming.
Chris, John, and Irish Ashley combine to make the ultimate team, better than any wet dream. Welcome to the Untitled Twitch stream. John's the CEO and boomer. Ashley's the real leader. Chris brings the vibes and juices as our enjoyment increases. Welcome to the Untitled Twitch stream.
Welcome
I
back
just
to
realized that we might be the only podcast where, because we keep forgetting to play it until the end of the show, that the audience turns off the podcast at the start of the show.
It's a very good point. I mean, that's what's crazy is that this is one of the few podcasts I feel like people actually listen to the preamble. You know what I mean? I don't like. I was listening to I don't know. I'm on a bit of an Anthony Bourdain jag all of a sudden,
Right.
and was listening to him on Mark Maron, and I was
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
this. I don't think I've ever listened, nor do I think anyone has listened to the first 10 minutes of that show.
I'll give it every now. Like his latest episode is with William Shatner, and it's very entertaining. And I listened to that one because right off the bat, my arms look like teeny tiny trick arms there.
They certainly do.
He just talks about what a fucking chaotic time he had with William Shatner. So I'll always give it a chance. If he starts talking about his personal life, then I'll skip it. But if he's talking about the interview that's about to happen, I'll be like, okay, something weird happened, and I'll give this a shot. But when he's talking about his life, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear any of this.
I will say this about Mark Maron. He looks weirdly healthy. I saw him last night on the patio of the Comedy Store. Just he's a man in his 60s, and he just looks great. Like
he looks great. He looks so good.
Like he's one of the few. If he was dating, I don't like. By the way, I'm going to say this with the Al Pacino.
Oh yeah,
that is so gross.
So weird.
So gross. All I can imagine is him heaving his little penis in her.
But at the same time, if she's like 20, if you're 28, you're an adult now.
No.
Yeah, and you're gonna go. You know what? You're a baby, and I'm definitely not gonna get left out of the will.
Well, and I just think it's like you're 28. You made a weird choice.
But
now it's kind of on you. You're 28 years old.
It's totally on them. I'm totally fine with that. Part of me is judging the 28-year-old. I don't care how much money there is in the world. How weird is that penis looking? That's gotta be such a stinky penis. That penis has to stink.
Yeah,
I don't think penises get stinkier with years.
Generally, I agree with you.
Without
Hang on. I'm specifically saying Al Pacino looks like his dick smells.
That's true. That's true. When you see like footage of him in the street, he's not a hygienic.
William Shatner.
He doesn't look like a
aromatic penis. You'd smell.
William Shatner, 92, still sharp and funny.
Of course. Also, I know so many women in Montreal, so many barflies in Montreal claim that they fucked William Shatner, and I hope they all did.
I believe all of them. Yeah.
Gains 5 pounds a year, so he doesn't have as many wrinkles.
I can't get behind that.
Oh my god! And his albums, so fucking. Do you know who produces those albums?
One was Ben Folds. Ben Folds.
Ben Folds is his like musical collaborator.
He's made one of them. He only made the one album with Ben Folds, but it was great.
But that was the good one.
Yeah.
So the one that's the one with Henry Rollins. I can't get behind that.
Yep.
So Henry Rollins is like only friend is William Shatner. He goes over to William Shatner's house for football every Monday, and him talking about making that album with Ben Folds is so funny because it's basically like Ben is just stood in a recording studio and William Shatner is doing everything. Henry Rollins comes in and he's like, maybe it's like something we can't get behind. And William Shatner, Ben, did you hear what Henry said? I love it. Let's do that. And then he's like, do you want to get like a guitar player? And he's like, what a great idea. Get the best guitar player you can find. And then they're like, really? And it's like, tell them it's for me. Tell them it's for William Shatner. And then that's what they just kept doing. Like Ben Folds just kept calling people like, want to be on William Shatner's album?
Yeah, they could yes, I do. Man's on the record.
And this is how they did it. Is it literally like it was just Ben Folds just calling people and being like, first of all, why does Ben Folds know how to get a hold of me? And then why the fuck? For who? William Shatner. It's like, yeah, okay.
Imagine putting down that phone. People, who was that? That was Ben Folds. What did Ben Folds want? He wanted to know if I wanted to play on William Shatner's album. You said yes, right? You said yes.
Yeah, you said yeah. You're right. Yeah. Like, I mean,
of course, I said yes.
In December,
would I not? I said yes.
This is why I got to tell you, I love America. In December, I turned down opening for Roseanne Barr because I was tired and I didn't want to get COVID. Like, that's how fucking nuts show business gets so crazy in the States so quickly because it's like here's the problem.
Have you met her already?
No, I've been in the same room with her a few times. She's like
because yeah,
she's like the problem is like it's not fun. Like she's not like fun. Like a person who's mental who believes in QAnon. Like
yeah, but I do think she's persuadable.
Agree to disagree. I will tell you who I ran into this week though. Tom Arnold. Let me say this: Tom Arnold, just a nice man, really pro Ukraine in that war. Like in a way where you're like, is this like your angle, man? Like it's weird.
Has he got shares in Donetsk?
It's actually in the Wagner group. No, like it was. I mean, can I just say this and then we will wrap up the show? The fact that the weird paramilitary militia that the Russians are using, the fact that it's so openly evil, it's named after Hitler's favorite composer on purpose. You're like, is there no subtlety left in the world? Like they're literally called the bad guys.
The pretense that it's not funded directly from the States as well.
So great.
Oh yeah,
so great.
yeah. Oh, those guys.
Tom, he was a caterer.
Yeah, he was.
You know?
Yeah, he was Putin's caterer.
He was Putin's caterer. Do you know how good his borscht was? So good, he's got a bunch of AK-47s now.
Yeah, he's the only person in the world that Putin trusted not to poison him. But Putin's definitely not funding this.
I'm going to say this right now. What an insult to you that Putin trusts you not to poison him. Like, if Putin was like, I know you won't kill me, I'd be like, I would be, as a Russian oligarch, I would be like, get me a Fabergé egg. I need to smash something beautiful. Like, I would be so upset. By the way, oh my God, I was listening to, I've become Chris Betts. I was listening to a lecture from this guy, Peter Zion, about geopolitics, and he was just running through one of the problems Russia has with all the information, and the Ukraine war is boring this out, and it's the best. It's just like he's killed all the smart, ambitious guys like right away. That's why Putin. He's like, Putin's really like
before they were killed.
Yeah, exactly. And like he was just a really good dictator, and he was just like, all these guys kill them, and they're like all the smart ones, and he's like, yeah. Also, imagine being left back, and you're like, good thing I'm a dumb, loyal dick. Like,
well, I remember watching an interview with I might have talked about this on here before, but an interview with a woman who was in the Congress, whatever they call it, in China, and she was she was like a anti-communist party, like trying to bring democracy in, and they were interviewing her, and she's like, well, it's a mixed bag having been in it for this long, because I get to talk about my cause, but the fact that they still allow me in and that I'm not dead means that I'm not good at it. So it was like, God damn, that is some self-awareness.
Oh God, that sucks. That hurts.
Yeah.
I had something similar.
I'm not a danger.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the steam coming out of the kettle. You know, they let that happen. So there's like the illusion of progress and open debate, but they know that I won't be able to change it. Was that?
Steam coming out of the kettle, was that her phrase or yours?
It might have been hers. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a lovely phrase.
It is a lovely phrase. You know what else was lovely, Tom? This program. Somehow we've talked for another hour. I genuinely don't know how we fucking did that. I don't know what we've talked about. Yeah. And
I mean, my piss was quite long, so.
I think we talked about feminism at one point.
Yeah, we talked about trans. We got way out of our depth on trans things.
Oh, certainly did. Oh yeah.
I don't think I'm at my depth.
I am. I'm fully out of my depth.
If any trans people want to talk to me about that, I'm at turning on. If any transphobic or whatever you fucking call yourselves now, people want to talk to me about it, don't.
Yeah.
Leave them alone.
I also just want to say one more
thing.
Let
people live their fucking lives.
Let people live their lives. Also, if your evidence, which I was recently talking to one person, where their evidence literally came from a podcast, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, don't ever quote this podcast in an argument you're making.
No,
that means that you've done a bad job.
Oh my God.
If you don't know what you're talking about.
Before we end, and I have to stress this, if you've ever quoted this podcast in an argument, unless it is, actually, I know someone who once shit so much they passed out in an IKEA, please feel free. Actually, I do know someone who jacked off in a botanical garden, so you maybe want to wind your neck in, fill your boots, literally with cum. Yeah.
It was John.
Tom.
No, I was just thinking like which parks. Wasn't a botanical garden stuff. Doesn't matter.
See, I like
every now and then I think of Tom when I think of trains, because he used to say on stage, "If I've ever been on a train with you, I jacked off." I'm sure that's not the words he used, but that was the message that came in. You're like, "I have jacked off on every train."
The line was, that I've often jacked off in train toilets.
What? We need to end the show, and we're only getting to this now. All right. How recent? I've been on a train journey with you post gig, jacked off on those toilets? Always? Is it
No. As a solo traveler.
Oh, okay. Very different. Second of all, do you have a minimum distance?
But the thing is, I think men like secrets more than they like orgasms.
No.
It's just so handy, if you'll excuse the expression, that they so often come together, if you'll excuse the expression.
I've jacked off in a lot of plane toilets.
I mean, of course.
And I've jacked off in some train toilets.
What?
Yeah.
Never a train toilet. That's not true. Totally not
there
true.
You go.
Definitely a
train
toilet.
There you go.
Not since I was a young man.
I've never done anything in a plane toilet. Did you see that show where I told that story, Chris?
No.
I don't know. Maybe.
No comment.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, for another week, we are off. We love you. We love your show. Tom, go see the lesbian musical with Tom.
Yeah. What's it called? Bring it up.
Yeah.
It's been on for 4 days.
Lesbian rock opera.
So far, every show has been
during June
tour de force.
At the Clapham Omnibus. It is absolutely batshit. And nice. I played three men. Two of them who are real people.
Oh.
And all of whom are Americans. So I'm having to do 3 voices. And I'm playing David O. Selznick, Spencer Tracy, and a fictional record producer.
Nice.
Which version of Spencer Tracy?
Between 40 and 65. Like multiple times.
Well, go see the show. Go see the show. Jack off in a plain toilet today. And
jack off in any little cubicle you find yourself in.
No, that's a confessional. Do not encourage them. Don't know.
Like, you can't both be jacking off.
And that's all. Penis into her vagina. And that's all.
Thom Tuck, whatever the Irish like to talk about sex.
And that's all. And that's called sexual intercourse.